49ers instant practice reaction here from Levi's, where Ricky Pearsall, the rookie wide receiver, was back out at practice wearing a blue non-contact jersey. Appeared to be moving fine. Even made a couple catches in the team period. He also had a brace on the shoulder that has been giving him issues. It was a long session for the 49ers. They were in full pads. They're getting a lot of that heavy work in this week before they obviously move into full regular season practice week mode next week ahead of the season opener against the Jets. Big news obviously happened away from this 49ers facility. CeeDee Lamb and the Dallas Cowboys have agreed to an extension. It's worth $34 million per year, so just behind Justin Jefferson's at $35 million per year. And all we know right now is the total guaranteed money of $100 million total guaranteed. That's behind Jefferson's $110 million. The most important number is the fully guaranteed money. That's where Jefferson really broke the market at $88.7 million fully guaranteed, but we don't know where CeeDee Lamb is on that scale yet. So we do need to know that number before we can fairly judge that situation and how it might impact the 49ers and Brandon Aiyuk. Aiyuk was not on the practice field today. We actually didn't see him, I think, for most of the practices last week. We did see him travel with the 49ers to Vegas, but as soon as there's more development on us knowing the details of the CeeDee Lamb deal, and as soon as there's more actual development on the Brandon Aiyuk front, I will check back in with you. Today's practice, I mentioned it was a long session. It was an active session. Saw a lot of interesting stuff. Brock Purdy, deep pass to Chris Conley was one of the nicest plays of practice. Conley got past Jair Brown and Deommodore Lenoir on the play. I think it was Brown that probably was at most fault on that particular deep connection. Jacob Cowing remains really fast. He was with the second team today for the play on which he scored a touchdown. Brandon Allen threw a screen pass to him, and Cowing just blew down the sideline and scored what would have been a touchdown in an actual game. Again, Jacob Cowing's going to make this football team. I think 6 wide receivers are going to make it. 49ers have already started some of the roster cuts. I'll get to those in just a second. I know I updated you earlier this morning, but the list is a bit longer. Anyway, Cowing's going to be one of the 6, I think. I predict 6. When the 49ers do officially unveil their initial 53-man roster tomorrow. Another really nice play from Eric Saubert, who I think is going to be tight end 2 for the 49ers. Just an unbelievable catch on a pass from Brandon Allen. One-handed catch. He was blanketed in coverage, and he was able to pull down the football, and that wowed the 49ers sideline on a day where you could sense the urgency of the regular season is approaching. I think there was a lot of spirit on that sideline, especially when big plays like that one were made. We need to talk about how good Deebo Samuel is making contested catches. He caught a deep pass today, and it was one where, again, he's in the midst of defenders. He's also catching crossers where he's in the midst of defenders. Deebo Samuel is not your standard man-beating wide receiver. He's a bulldozer. And we know he's a bulldozer after the catch, but he's also a bulldozer during the catch. His hands are really strong, and he's able to pull down catches in tight spaces with the best of them, and I think that we saw more of that today, and it's worth mentioning with Deebo Samuel. Interceptions today for Deommodore Lenoir and Darrell Luter Jr. Lenoir's came against Brock Purdy, but it was Purdy got hit, or the throw got hit. Quarterbacks obviously are off limits to contact. Throw got hit at the line. It might have been Sam O, the defensive lineman, number 91 for the 49ers, who might have a bit of an outsized role for this team, especially with Leonard Floyd and Yetur Gross-Matos currently out with injury. Floyd is day-to-day. He was working off on the side, so I'd expect him back soon. Gross-Matos might be a little bit of a longer time for the 49ers. Had a rather violent takedown early in practice when Curtis Robinson had a clothesline Jake Tonjes. I'm sure it was incidental, but it drew some yelling between offense and defense for the 49ers in what seemed to be a competitive session. The bad for the 49ers did the center play. Kevin Givens backed Jake Brendel straight into Brock Purdy on a play, and then later on, Givens was also able to get around Drake Nugent. And I understand from Drake Nugent's perspective, this is a rookie who's learning the tricks of the trade at the NFL level. I think he's actually been really good over the course of preseason. Only 1 pressure, given up over 59 pass blocking snaps. But with Brendel, especially last year, there was a regression from the 2022 season. I think he's getting moved backwards a little bit too much. 49ers are going to need a little bit more of an anchor inside to give Purdy a clean pocket. I promised I'd go through the cuts. The 49ers cut Matt Breida. They cut the fellow running back Keyshawn Vaughn, Lewis Kidd, the offensive lineman cut, and John Trey Kirkland also cut, along with the punter Presley Harvin III. Mitch Wishnowsky back at practice. Looks like his knee irritation is not keeping him out anymore, so the 49ers were able to waive Presley Harvin III. Isaac Yiadom was back at practice, but not in team drills, was working off on the side for the 49ers. So their third cornerback, guy who projects to get a lot of playing time, looks like he's about to fully return to the fold. All right, that's the instant reaction. We'll have more for you guys in a little bit. Can give you guys a quick look at Ricky Pearsall back at practice right now.